Have you ever heard of the power of compounding? This is the secret that great investors use to turn small investments into fortunes over time. But here's the thing. Not all compounding works the same way. There are different methods, and understanding which one to use can be the key to accelerating your financial growth. Today, you'll discover 4 powerful compounding strategies that can make your wealth skyrocket. If you want to put your money to work more efficiently, staying until the end of this video could be one of the best investments you've ever made. Before you start, leave a like to support the channel and ensure that more exceptional videos like this one continue to arrive. And if you're not yet a subscriber, take advantage now to join us and learn financial strategies that really make a difference. The first strategy is the most well-known and underrated at the same time. If you've ever heard the phrase, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, then you know what I'm talking about. This strategy seems simple, but it hides a gigantic power. The reason why many people don't get rich is because they underestimate the time and multiplier effect of compound interest. Imagine that you have $10,000 and invested at a rate of 10% per year. In the first year, the growth seems modest, $1,000 in profit. But in the second year, instead of earning another $1,000, your investment grows by $11,000. It seems like a small detail, but this small detail is the difference between an ordinary life and building a fortune. Now, let's extrapolate this logic. If you don't touch this money and let it grow for 30 years, without adding anything, it turns into approximately $174,000, and that's without any additional effort. But if you decide to add more money over time, the snowball grows even faster. The power of time. How small differences create fortunes. Here's a shocking fact. The first few years seem slow, but the last few years are explosive. If you look at a graph of compound interest, you'll see that for the first 10 years, the growth is slow. After 20 years, it starts to accelerate. But after 30 or 40 years, the numbers get ridiculously high. That's because compounding is exponential, not linear. To visualize this, think of a pond covered in algae that doubles in size every day. On the first day, it's barely noticeable. On the 10th day, it seems insignificant. But by day 29, half the pond is covered, and by day 30, it's completely covered. Compound interest works the same way. Most of the growth happens at the end, not the beginning. How do you speed up this process? If you want to make this snowball grow faster, there are 2 main keys. Start as early as possible. Every year you delay can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future. Reinvest everything. Every time you withdraw profits, you are breaking the chain and decreasing the potential for exponential growth. The mistake most people make? Waiting for the perfect moment to invest. Timing is more important than the initial amount. The time to act is now. The snowball effect of compound interest can be your greatest weapon for building wealth, but it only works if you allow time to do its part. If this concept surprised you, imagine the impact of applying it right now. Don't put it off until tomorrow. Start today and watch your wealth grow like never before. Second strategy. If classic compounding is already a force of nature, imagine adding fuel to that engine. Accelerated compounding does exactly that. It turns consistent growth into a true financial rocket. The big difference here is that instead of relying solely on the effect of compound interest, you accelerate the process by injecting new, constant contributions. This means that not only does your investment grow on previous returns, but also on new values added regularly. The impact of this can be surprising. Think of it like a plantation. If you plant just one tree and wait years for it to bear fruit, your growth will be slow. But what if every month you planted a new tree? In no time, you would have an entire forest producing fruit continuously. The most successful investors in the world know that time and regular contributions are a powerful combination. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in history, didn't build his empire just by waiting for compound interest to kick in. He constantly reinjected new resources, ensuring that his money grew exponentially. To visualize this effect in practice, imagine two people. The first invests $10,000 and lets time do its work. The second invests the same $10,000 but adds $1,000 every month. After 20 years, the first person will have approximately $67,000 if the rate is 10% per year. As for the second person, more than $700,000. This absurd difference occurs because the new contributions constantly increase the base on which compound interest acts. One of the biggest challenges for those who invest is discipline. Many people start out excited, but over time end up forgetting to maintain regular contributions. That's why automating this process can be a game changer. If you schedule an automatic transfer to your investment account every month, you eliminate the need to think about it. The money simply comes in and starts working for you, without any extra effort. Another important factor is the emotional impact. When you see your money growing faster and faster, it generates a positive psychological effect. You feel motivated to keep investing and may even look for ways to increase your monthly contributions. If you want to speed up this process even more, here's an advanced strategy. Increase your contributions over time. If you can currently invest $1,000 a month, try increasing that amount by 5% each year. It may seem like a small amount, but in the long run, this small adjustment can double or even triple your earnings. This method follows the natural growth of your income over the years. Instead of maintaining the same contributions forever, you adjust them gradually, ensuring that your wealth grows even faster. Accelerated compounding is one of the most efficient ways to multiply your wealth quickly. While many people wait for time to take its course, those who master this strategy take control of their own financial growth. The key is consistency and automation. If you apply this strategy, you can turn modest investments into an impressive fortune, and, best of all, without having to make any major sacrifices in your daily life. Third strategy. Now we enter a territory for those who really want to accelerate their financial growth, but without losing control. Leverage compounding is not for everyone, because while it can multiply your wealth, it can also get you into trouble if misused. The concept here is simple. You use third-party money to invest more than you would normally have available. But make no mistake, this does not mean taking out loans at any cost. Smart leverage requires strategy, calculation, and, above all, discipline. Why is this strategy so powerful? Because it allows you to put your money to work on a larger scale, without having to wait years to accumulate capital. The different types of leverage. There are several ways to leverage your investments. Here are three of the most common and effective. Brokerage margin. You borrow money from the brokerage to trade financial assets, such as stocks and derivatives. If the appreciation is greater than the interest paid on the loan, the profit grows exponentially. But be careful, counter movements can multiply your losses at the same speed. Real estate financing. You acquire a property with financing and use the rent to pay the installments. In this way, someone is working to pay off your equity. If the property increases in value over the years, you have not only paid off the debt with the tenant's money, but you have also seen your investment grow without having to put up all the capital at once. Strategic loans for businesses and investments. If you have a high-return business or project, you can use third-party capital to accelerate growth. The key here is to ensure that the rate of return is greater than the interest paid. The danger of bad leverage seems like a shortcut to success, but it can be a dangerous path if not well planned. The biggest mistake people make is overestimating the returns and underestimating the risks. Imagine someone who takes out a large loan to invest in stocks at the top of the market. If prices fall, not only does this person lose money, but they also have to pay interest on the debt. The result? Financial disaster. The right way to use leverage is to always calculate the worst-case scenario and ensure that even if something goes wrong, you can still maintain the debt without compromising your finances. The golden rule of leverage. If there's one rule you need to remember before using this strategy, it's this. Only use leverage when the return on your investment is greater than the cost of the debt. If the loan is paying 5% interest per year, your investment needs to yield much more than that for the strategy to make sense. Leverage compounding is like a powerful sports car. It can get you there much faster, but if you put your foot down without knowing how to drive, you can lose control and crash. When used correctly, this strategy can dramatically accelerate the growth of your wealth, allowing you to achieve big goals in less time. But if used poorly, it can put you in a dangerous position. So, before you get into this game, make sure your accounts are well planned and that the risks are controlled. That way, you can take advantage of the good side of leverage without falling into the traps that make so many people lose money. And the fourth and final strategy. If there is one strategy that represents the pinnacle of financial intelligence, this is it. Here, you are not just accumulating wealth or accelerating earnings. You are creating a money machine that never stops working. This is the true infinite game. Your money works for you, not the other way around. Imagine having a system where, month after month, year after year, money simply appears in your account, without having to sell assets, without having to depend on a job, and without sacrificing your lifestyle. It sounds like a dream, but this is exactly what the greatest investors do. The difference between this approach and the previous ones is that now you no longer have to choose between reinvesting everything or spending everything. Here, you find the perfect balance. You live off the income without ever touching the principal. The sources of compound passive income. For this system to work, you need assets that generate continuous cash flow. The most used by long-term investors are dividend-paying stocks. Solid companies distribute part of their profits to shareholders regularly. The strategy here is to reinvest part of these dividends to keep growing and use the rest to cover your living costs. The snowball effect keeps rolling, but now you start to reap the rewards. Rental properties. The income generated by rentals can pay all your expenses, while the properties continue to appreciate in value. The trick is to reinvest part of the rent to acquire more properties and expand your income stream. Those who master this game can have dozens of properties generating money every month without having to actively work. Fixed income investments and credit funds. Some fixed income assets pay interest or coupons periodically, allowing you to receive constant payments without having to sell anything. Government bonds, debentures, and private credit funds are great for this strategy. The mistake most people make is thinking that there are only two options: either spend everything they earn or never touch the money and live saving forever. True investors understand that the game is different. The idea is not to live in misery, accumulating money for a distant future, but neither is it to spend everything and depend forever on active work. The secret is to find the exact point where your wealth grows on its own while you already enjoy the benefits of your financial construction. Think about the great billionaires. They do not sell their assets to live, they live off the income that these assets generate. This means that even if they spend millions, their wealth continues to grow. And when to start this process? The sooner, the better. The sooner you create assets that generate income, the sooner you can reach the point where your income covers your expenses. This is the moment of real financial freedom. But do not make the mistake of waiting until you get rich to start. You can apply this strategy at any time, even with smaller amounts. What matters is not how much you start with, but how consistently you continue to grow your passive income over the years. Now that you've learned about the 4 powerful compounding methods, it's time to make a decision. Will you continue playing the traditional game, waiting for results with constant effort, or will you use these strategies to build a passive income system that works for you 24/7? Creating a perpetual passive income system isn't just a financial choice, it's a true mindset shift. You no longer have to worry about working hard to make money, because now your money is working for you. This is the secret that great investors know and use every day. The infinite game has no end. Once you get your system up and running, it never stops growing. The snowball keeps rolling, the income stream never dries up, and you can live a life where money is no longer a concern. It's now just a tool to achieve total freedom. Are you ready to take the next step? To use these methods and truly transform your financial future. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out or already have some experience. What matters is the decision to take action. So, if you liked this content, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any amazing videos that will help you achieve your financial goals. And, of course, leave a like to show that you want more content like this and motivate the channel to bring more and more powerful tips for your journey to success. Now, it's your turn to create your infinite game. Let's go on this journey together.